Howdy, hamster. Are you back from your trip? You had a good time, I hope. Eadwo. Whoa. Good. I'm glad you had a good time. Almost all the letters in Howdy are horizontally symmetrical, except that pesky D. But it is vertically symmetrical. I mean, no, it is. That's the one that isn't vertically symmetrical. I think maybe you meant vertically instead of horizontally. Maybe. The vertical is up and down, the horizontal is left to right. Part 1 of 1 possibly, but I'm probably only gonna play a couple hours. So likely we'll finish it up next Monday, probably. I mean, I don't know how long this game is. If I breeze through it, yes, possibly. I mean, if I feel like I'm near the end and I feel like there's maybe 1 hour to go, I might push 3 hours. Otherwise, we'll finish it up next Monday. I do have a couple things I need to get done tonight. Laundry, I gotta send the mother her card check. Do some board game group related stuff. Today is laundry day. Various days are laundry day. Any day could be laundry day. It just depends on how fast that washer fills up. And it's full. It's been run, but I still need to load the dryer. That will occur directly after stream. Also, howdy, Skull. Sorry. We're about to get started here. I'm assuming we all remember Dr. Grimoire from a few weeks ago. I'm told by Hamster that this is a continuation of that character's story. I don't know how much from the first game will show up in this game. But it certainly seems mysterious enough. But with all the purple, this lady floating around with a bloody knife, some particle effects on it, all these crazy symbols in the background. All right. Let's see what happens here. I reckon we'll be... Did I say doctor? Whatever. He's a doctor now. Debugging. Tangle Tower. Somewhere in the afternoon. Roughly the middle of it. Lake's Edge. There's some lady with crazy hair and wavy lines on her face.
It's a bird bath.
It's bird bath.
Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune. Toot, 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 toot.
Please don't do that.
Yes, please. That's enough.
What are they?
Wind chimes. Silent wooden wind chimes.
Pretty poor wind chimes then. I should not have the Switch audio delay on. I set that all to 0, and it's back. Hack.
It's just an archway, but it seems a little ominous.
But thank you for pointing that out. I swear I switched. I changed all the delays to 0.
Like, walking through it might give you bad luck.
Too late.
Well, I'm gonna walk around it then.
You ready, Sally?
Grimore, I've been standing here for 7.5 minutes.
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank. Did you read the case file? What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
Murder victim, Freya Fellow. I assume that's this weirdly shaped lady. Died whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow, aged 44. Flora was present as she was posing for a portrait. Okay, Freya and Flora, right. Freya was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. No weapon was found at the scene, but the subject of Freya's unfinished painting is holding a knife. The red color on the tip of the knife is not paint. It was discovered to be blood. Howdy, Momo. How are you doing today? Alright, so it's a little too obvious that Flora would be the murderer. So it's probably not her. Small painting on scrap paper. A few notes have been written on the back. Nowadays it goes by Tangle Tower, but it's actually a pair of towers connected by a mansion at the base. Or maybe it's just a mansion with 2 towers. I'm doing pretty well, Mango. I'm gonna alternate Momo and Mango probably for you. But I'm doing well. I've had the day off, so I'm decently well rested. Surrounded by a circular lake, Water is an unusual mix of colors. Don't drink this. The lake is enclosed by sheer pale cliffs, too steep and smooth to climb. It sounds like a very inconvenient place to live. Tangle Tower is currently home to both the Fellow family and the Pointer family. Peoples? What in the world is this? Hamster drank no lake water. So this is the murdered girl. Is that the monster from the first game playing the heart back here? I know that neck. Also, she's got like either that paint that's flicked off her brush all over her neck and face, or she's got some kind of skin modeling. Yeah, this is kind of a mystery game of sorts. We can run around, find some clues, and figure things out. Talk to a bunch of people, I imagine. If it's anything like the first game, we move from location to location, finding stuff to fill out all these empty holes.
That's the little boat we used to cross the lake.
Definitely seems way more polished
It's
than
the
the
only
first
way
one.
on or off the island.
What a comforting thought. That's a big lake.
It's kind of purple. Looks poisonous.
I think it's just water.
Yeah. Water with poison in it.
I tied the boat up to the mooring post, so it'll stay put
Maybe.
for now.
Loving the confidence. The ground's moist, but it's not muddy.
Yeah, purple water. I don't know about all that.
Wonder how often it rains here.
Enough to fill up a lake
I
with
cannot
purple
believe
water.
how exciting this murder investigation is already.
It's a bird bath. Is that just
The
rainwater?
birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune. Doot, doot,
Please
doot.
don't
Nope,
do that.
nope, none of that. We've already been through that. Alright.
So, who do you think did it?
I don't know. We ain't got but one suspect, and they probably didn't do it. So.
Sally, you know full well we haven't met a single suspect yet. We haven't even been to the crime scene.
Still, I reckon I've got it all worked out.
Oh, I'd like to hear that.
So, who do you... Still,
Oop, okay. We got a map, yeah? This seems like a bigger map than the first game. We should head up the crime scene. It's at the top of the tower. There are 2 towers. Which the tower is the tower? The gardens. So this is where Freya had her picture taken, because this was in the background.
It's a statue of some hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster
playing a harp.
playing a harp.
As
Hang
they
on a
do.
second. This isn't just a regular statue,
A
is it?
puzzle?
Something tells me we're not going to solve this just yet.
Colin signals can be rotated, so probably no idea what this needs to be
Let's
set to.
come back later. It must do something.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Old weather statue, an amphibious creature holding a large harp with some switchy type symbols on it we can move around. This thing's eyes like pulsing.
What animal is that?
Hawk, bear, lizard.
Right. Of course. A hawk bear lizard.
May as well be.
It's a stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that. It's an egg.
Well, so far, the voice actors are familiar.
This is some garden.
Do the plants all look a little strange to you? Spooky.
Spooky.
What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it working?
No.
It's a bandstand.
Bit small for a bandstand.
It's a one-man bandstand.
Of course. And here I was going to call it a gazebo. Anything else I want to look at around here? Let's look at this.
It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to say, too quiet?
The art and people remind you of some show on Cartoon Network.
It's not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
It's exactly as quiet as it should be.
And it's full of the same weird water that was in the lake.
Any fish in there?
Something in there.
Not a single one. Although there is something in there.
It's a cassette tape. Or it used to be.
Ew, a wet cassette tape. Ink on the label is blurred and ineligible. Well, it's a good find, I guess. Do you remember the name of this show? I haven't watched Cartoon Network in a billion years. Approximately. Main entrance to Tangle Tour.
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us.
I sold my television in 1998 and haven't bothered getting another one.
Is that an envelope?
It's been opened, but the letter's still in there.
Is that a canoe statue? Or was the canoe statue in the gardens?
Let's read it.
Isn't that an invasion of someone's privacy?
No, definitely.
Silently judging. Single piece of paper inside. The combinations drawn on the other sheet. Once you have it memorized, destroy it. I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find it down there. Well, hopefully they didn't destroy it.
Oh.
What?
Oh, there's an O on the floor.
Oh yeah. Tangle Tour.
Twir.
Twa.
Little bird feeders.
How do you know they're for birds?
Well, because nothing else can get to them, except maybe squirrels. Squirrels can get into anything.
That leads back to the gardens.
There's an okay hamster. No matter how much you might want it to be.
Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not? It's a little melody.
Wait, it doesn't ring by itself. You have to swing it around. Right? That was Skull. Oh. Well, then you said twerk stream confirmed.
Let's head to the crime scene first. It's at the top of the west tower, I think.
Guess we're going in. I meant to look at the door and I forgot. That's a neat aquarium.
big letter F.
Of course. Who doesn't hang a giant banner of their initial in the lobby of their mansion?
I don't have it in my mansion. Here's a family tree.
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
Oh my god. So many fellows and Pointers and Remingtons and Brackleys. Everstone. Okay. Now, it was Freya that's dead, right? And it was somebody not appearing on here that was being painted. I don't remember anymore.
Pretty.
Fiona Fellow. Dead center. She must be important.
She's half fellow and half Remington.
Do you think she still lives here?
She's a Flemington. And there's only one Brackley. These are the people who got married into the family, I guess. Married into money, probably.
Buck Brackley.
Howdy, Snow. How's your day going?
What a name.
Do you think he still lives here?
Probably not. It's pretty far up.
Lord Fellow.
Looks like he was married twice.
Scandal.
Scandal. Once to a relative.
Lady Fellow.
Do these people not have first names?
Doing pretty well. See, the way I read this, his name is Floored Fellow, and she's Flaty Fellow.
Lord Remington.
He sounds important. Lady Remington.
I think I have one of those in my bathroom. Lord Pointer.
This goes back a couple of generations. Lady Pointer.
How do you become a lady? I want to be a lady.
Well, let's start acting like it.
Selena Stonetop.
No family line. Apparently, she just appeared out of nowhere.
She isn't important enough.
Flint Fellow.
A purebred fellow, if there ever was one. Married a randomer, though.
Do you think he still lives here?
Well, were you here for the Detective Grimoire game? Yeah, marrying random Emily Everstone?
Felix Fellow. Looks like he married his way into the Remington family.
Do you think he still lives here?
Why do they keep asking, do you think everybody still lives here? Okay, well, this is basically the sequel to that game, sorta. I don't know how much of a connection between the two there is, but same character. I think it's the same premise. Just got back from hanging out with some friends. Friends and hamster.
Primrose Remington.
I always liked the name Primrose.
Do you think she still lives here?
Ah. Oh, here's the Flora person.
Flora Remington.
I think she's mentioned in our case file.
Richard Remington.
The one and only.
So, Richard Remington was the guy from the first game, if I remember right.
Primrose Remington.
I always liked the name Primrose.
Do you think she still lives here?
Pandora Pointer.
All this alliteration isn't happening by accident, is it?
Do you think she still lives here?
Why do they keep asking that?
Percival Pointer. He married into the Remington family.
Do you think he still lives here?
Poppy Pointer.
She's half Remington and half Pointer.
Do you think she still lives here?
Do you think?
Penelope Pointer.
Half Pointer, half Brackley.
Do you think she still lives here?
That's getting mighty repetitive.
Felicia Fellow.
Freya's mother.
Do you think she still lives here?
Damien Dusk.
Whoa. Is it too late to change my name to Detective Dusk?
Oh, you're Grimoire, sorry.
It's Freya's father.
Oh, it'll become clear in time, Snow, I promise.
Do you think he still lives here?
We're just looking at this one tiny bit. We're in a mansion, and I've just focused in on this thing for the time being. I think I've looked at enough people. I wonder if any of them still live here, though. That's a very good question. I wonder if this crab still lives here. And this dragon. And those butterflies. Oh, man, I don't know where to start.
This one has a big P.
That's probably important.
How very perceptive of you.
I did click the dragon and all it said was, it's pretty. Perceptive. It's a huge P.
Finally, we get to investigate a murder in a spooky mansion.
It's not that spooky, really.
Don't ruin this.
Ice cream
Finally, we
spooky.
get to investigate a murder in a...
It's not
Don't
that
ruin this. Finally,
It's
don't
not
ruin
that.
this.
Okay, there's gonna be a lot of repetitive voice acting, I think.
Finally, we get...
It's
Don't
not.
ruin this.
It's not locked. It's a
Big glass tube.
filled with water.
There are weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it.
Or maybe it's
Anymore.
hiding in the weeds.
Finally,
It's
don't ruin this.
Alright, so... Oh, now we got a choice, but we gotta go up the left side.
Let's head to the crime scene. It's at the top of the west tower, I think.
I know, I don't know how... Every time I say something, then one of the characters says it so far.
Let's head to the crime scene first. It's at the top of the west tower.
Okay, fine, we'll go straight there. I get it. Howdy, Rose. How's your day going? Oh, this is our murder suspect. There's been a murder.
We're at the top of the tower, right?
I think so. Why?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing.
This chalk outline was brutally murdered. Oh, out hanging out with Snow and the friends. Deadly premonition. Pretty sure I've heard of that. I don't think I know anything about it.
Let's take a look at that painting first.
Why? Why must you tell me what to do, game? You're not in charge of me.
Let's take a look at that painting first.
This door's busted down.
That's the only door in and out of the room.
It's also on the floor.
Sure is. Guessing it's not supposed to be down there. Freya's painting supplies.
Some of them are broken. Well, they're all broken. Small glass pots of red, yellow, blue, black, and white paint. They're all cracked down one side.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed.
Supposedly.
Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Another paint game.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
The palette has a variety of paints loaded into it. The largest is a blob of black in the middle, although it looks kind of green to me. This is black. This is green.
Supposedly, Freya was working.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
We've already seen it.
Freya's painting supplies.
Seen it already.
It's so dark back there.
Somehow, the sunlight doesn't seem to be making it very far into the room.
Sunlight struggles.
Half the room is a big open window.
I don't know if you can call it an open window. It's more like the sudden absence of wall.
Is that supposed to be deep? She's a horror connoisseur. Okay, I remember it. Sorry, I didn't read it until now.
Let's take a look at that painting first.
I remember. Why'd you leave snow hanging like that? I didn't mean to. I mean, I'm looking at two things. Sometimes I miss stuff.
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it?
Looks that way.
Freya was unable to finish the painting as she died sometime during the process. Flora appears to be wielding a knife. The red substance on the tip was discovered to be blood. But obviously not the blood of the painter, or that would be a neat trick. Oh. And Rose got right to it. That's exactly what we said, or that's what we claimed that Snow said.
I wonder if all of Freya's paintings are this creepy. Maybe it's just because she never got to finish it.
There's
Who
something
is
wrong with the
this?
crime scene, and something really weird about the murder weapon.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
We gotta think about something now? Okay, I remember this. Let's see. Laura Fellow is holding a knife tipped with blood. Because Freya was going to eat it. Huh, we don't really know anything about where the knife is. So, we're gonna go with this.
Flora Fellow is holding a knife tipped with blood, but it was removed from the scene. Nope.
Okay. try this one, maybe?
Flora Fellow is holding a knife tipped
No,
with
that's stupid.
blood
Of course not.
because it stabbed Freya. Almost. Maybe just change one thing. Flora Fellow is holding a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there. That's not right.
But Freya stole it? That doesn't make any sense. No, none of that looks right. Excuse me. Yikes. Sorry. No, I said this one was like one thing away. I need a drink of water right quick. Yikes, I got something in my throat. Flora Pillow is holding a knife tipped with blood. I don't think... Jeez. I can't see how the knife holding that Flora is holding has blood on it because it stabbed Flora, because Flora painted it. I mean, wait. I'm okay. Freya was painting it. See you later, Momo. Have a good evening. Flora's portrait. Yeah, let's try that. It's holding a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there. Almost. Maybe just change. Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with
This doesn't
blood
make any sense to
because
me.
it stabbed Freya.
But good tip on the
What?
sub.
Weird, huh?
You think Freya was stabbed by a painting. Not by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
Mm-hmm. Freya was standing right up by the canvas when she was killed. There's blood on the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right, but it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here? Case closed.
The case is not closed. And even if you were right, where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
All right. You win this time, Sally. The solution didn't make any sense to me either. But apparently that was it.
Is that an egg? An egg with bird feet.
It's also covered in gemstones. What a completely ordinary object.
It's very Ace Attorney logic. I hope not. I hope Ace Attorney has better logic than that. Ooh,
I
pretty.
think it's a container for something.
Those gems look like they come off.
So this is a clue. Is this telling me what needs to be connected to what? There's a joke in the Layton crossover that logic doesn't exist in their world. I think we made really good progress on the Layton thing Saturday. It went really well, pretty smooth for the most part. Okay, let's see. I can move these around. And I'm guessing I need to...
It's some kind of clue about where to put the gemstones.
I need to make these connections, I guess. We didn't call you fat. I mean... Clag the hamster is fat. We're just talking about Clag the hamster. Alright, so let's look at this. A purple and a yellow need to connect. So let's put that there. Now a purple and a yellow connect. A green and a red need to connect. Guess start there. Oh no. Yeah, green and red. A purple and a blue need to connect. That's already true. Right. This purple connects to a like purple. This blue connects to a red. This purple and this blue are connected. Like this. Now this green and this yellow are connected. Got that here. This purple, right, we got all that. But do they have to be in similar locations? Let's try putting this here. Let's see. Oops.
It's some kind of clue about where to put the gemstones.
Some kind of clue about where to put the gemstones. Fine. But... now that line stands all out by itself. But there isn't a line on this side that stands all by itself. What if it's the shape of the line? Because this is a similarly shaped line. So let's put this purple here, this yellow here. Now got a short one here. Short, thick. That's this one. So it's green on the long end. Red on the short end. Okay, I think we got it figured out now. Now, long curve. That's this one. So it's going to be purple on the short end. Blue on the long end. So that's these three done. Now this one, a couple of 90-degree turns. That's this one. And that's both purples. So these go here. And now this one. That's this one. So it's red and a blue. Red here, blue here. So that's these done. Now I think this is the only one left. The one with a big rectangle on it. That's this one. So, is that the way it already is? That's the way it already is.
That's the one.
Hey, not bad.
Did we unlock it?
Did it unlock? What's in there?
Nothing.
Nothing?
It's an empty egg.
Well, I'm not leaving without a clue.
We demand a clue. Clue is our birthright. We will have it.
Empty egg is a clue, right?
Once unlocked, the egg can be opened. It's currently empty. The lining of the egg is a soft, velvet-like material. The egg is supported by a stand made of brass. Sorry for all the noise. The egg is supported by a stand made of brass. It rests on 3 strange feet with pointed claws.
Is that a gramophone?
Just a noisy stream. Not necessarily an ASMR stream.
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
It's
We've got
also
a tape.
a big crack down the middle.
Everything's cracked in here. Yeah. I'm having a snack. It's true.
What about the cassette tape?
Yeah, it sure is. Pink.
This is also cracked.
Do you think it still works?
Ugh, no chocolate. Gross.
The gramophone? Yeah, we could give it a go.
Try it. We'll probably just break it more. Howdy, Canoe. Welcome. How do you do today?
It's piano music.
Recording of piano music. Piano music is my favorite. I never learned how to play the piano. I played the trombone. Because I was in a marching band and a piano's too heavy to carry around. Brass boys. Oh, there it is. I knew it was going to end weirdly. Oh my gosh. I haven't played the piano. I haven't played the trombone in at least 24 years. That's a little creepy. A recorder. Is a recorder a brass? Or is that a woodwind? I mean, recorder doesn't have a reed, right? But
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
just cover it in brass. Okay. Good enough. Recording of someone walking outdoors and a distorted humming melody can be heard. Alright, that was creepy. I don't want to listen to that anymore. I didn't want to put that solution in there. The game demanded it.
We're at the top of the tower.
I think so. Why?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing. There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Philo.
So, what? Freya was killed how?
Looks that way.
Alright, I guess all that's left is to talk
A bunch of old books, covered in dust now,
to
but
this
they
lady.
look well read.
Flora Philo?
Yeah,
Hey,
she's
sorry
super
to
creepy.
barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Not a big talker.
Nothing. What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now. Is there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora?
Nope.
I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it.
She just wants
We
to
don't just
glare
have
at
to
us.
ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
More glare.
Was this something you had planned with her ahead of time?
Was there something special about yesterday?
Did you talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
I do like the animations.
She's not going to answer us, is she?
Nope. But at least we can say we tried.
I don't recall the first game having animations in it.
Flora, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya? She's acting pretty suspicious if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe she
Well-
really doesn't know anything.
How is that possible?
pack of crackers is $35 in Dead Premonition. Man. Must be a damn good pack of crackers. Well, so far, the neck thing, it's just the Fellow family that has the super long necks. Dalliance with some giraffes and family's history, I suppose.
That's the only door in and out of the room.
It's also on the floor.
Sure is. Guessing it's not. The outline of Freya Fellow. Looks like she fell onto her back. There's a single patch of blood, right in the middle.
Which probably means she was stabbed in the back.
No real signs of a struggle.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right up by the canvas.
So?
So she was probably standing really close to the canvas when she fell.
Let's check the case file again.
I think we were supposed to look at that before we looked at the painting. Okay. That told us nothing new. Alright, let's leave that weird lady alone for now. There's plenty of other things to look at.
It's a drinking horn.
Is it full of ale? Or mead, maybe?
Right now, it's just full of dust.
Oh.
Ew.
Nice. A real treasure chest.
How do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked? Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it. What's the deal with that painting on the front?
Not sure. We should check that treasure map, too.
Alright, this is this, I guess? I mean, we got the tree in the background, we got the sea monster over here, this island, and this X. So I guess this is the space on the map, and this is the direction we're facing, I guess. So this will be I-4 facing north, maybe? Let's try it.
Nothing.
Did you check the treasure map for clues? And what about that painting on the chest itself?
Oh, but there were birds too. There's birds out there. I did not see the birds previously. So, it's this one. Facing west. H6 west.
That's done it.
Neat.
Neat.
What was in the box?
More wooden models. These are a little different to the one on the desk.
I haven't even looked at the one on the desk. Child with green hair. A woman with gray hair. Model resembling a red and white bird. and a broad-shouldered man. Sloppily painted in a pot of red paint. Okay, well, this is Freya. This is Flora. We don't know who this is, and we don't know who the bird is.
A map with a dotted line and an X marked on it.
That's a very boring way to describe a treasure map.
It's a barometer, but it's broken.
Broken barometer.
I've never seen a barometer that wasn't broken.
What is it?
He's an imp.
An imp?
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Fancy.
The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just made of wood. I think it's the actual hull of a ship.
Canoe should watch out for the imp.
A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand-painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
You can just tell. It's not very good. Man with a sword. Yellow, blue, black, and white paints nearby. Were these the same colors that Freya had? Maybe?
An old wooden mask.
Probably cursed.
Probably.
A lot of redundant light sources in here.
Puffer fish?
Glowy fish?
Yes. It's also a lamp, for some reason. It's a magic lamp. Can we summon the genie?
If we get really stuck, sure. That's a massive conch shell. Do you think there's a little crab living inside?
Probably a huge crab. If there's a crab at all. A giant orange crab, perhaps.
I hope so. Shelf junk.
I got a lot of that in my house.
It's Earth.
If Earth was made of paper and gave off a gentle pink light. The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just. I think it's the actual hull of a little mirror.
A little mirror.
Definitely cursed.
It's not cursed. Not everything is cursed.
Probably a lot of stuff is cursed.
Sir? Can you hear me?
Does nobody talk?
I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
Felix.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
So Felix does still live here, apparently.
Perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
Sally's snarky remarks are 10 out of 10. I agree. I like Sally.
So, Felix, what exactly do you do?
Is it not obvious? I'm an explorer.
An explorer.
Explorer/treasure hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
We're talking like cursed statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that.
There's a lot of
I've
lamps,
certainly
apparently.
seen my share of danger.
And
if
lamps.
That's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long.
How long have you been
I
here?
go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is...
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
Don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
He realizes one of them is dead, right?
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here?
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help, but I wish you all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, working on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower.
Oh, his daughter is
You
dead.
didn't hear anything unusual?
They all have such similar
What
names, I can't
qualifies
tell.
as unusual?
What have you got?
I'm gonna have to go look at the family tree again.
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain, as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right, fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close.
Oh my God,
So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course.
Oh my God, I hope.
Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
There's a lot of
Including you?
characters in this
Not
game.
I.
And they
I
all have
stayed.
very similar
Flora
names.
needed me.
This is going to be very confusing for me. What you miss? You missed the revelation that yes, indeed, everybody
What
still
is
lives
that?
here.
I think it's a family tree.
So we were just talking to Felix. Felix is Flora's wife. We haven't met Fiona yet. Freya's the one that's murdered. So Freya is Felix's niece, I guess. Well, like great niece. Yeah. And like half niece. Goodness gracious, this is going to be confusing. Alright, next room. Yeah, we're definitely not finishing this tonight, I don't think.
It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
It's a bug box.
Freya's plants.
Oh, this is Freya's room. Oh, it says right there, Freya's room.
They must not need sunlight. It's a little wooden box for paintbrushes.
To the casual observer, maybe.
If you're a casual.
They're not real paintbrushes. Looks like they're part of some kind of lock mechanism.
Swap the brushes in the correct order. Arrange the paper to find a clue. Do these fit here? Huh, okay. So this is the shortest and this is the longest? I guess. Okay, so these are the handles. Handle colors. Yeah, that's my brilliant powers of determination. Alright. So we've got brush handle colors, and we got colors of the paints on the brush and brush shapes. So the furthest one's going to be an orange. What? Does this mean how tall they are? So is this gonna be here? So a green one goes here, I guess. Either this one or this one will go here. But this one, I think, has to go here. I think this is it.
There we go.
Perfect.
It ended up being fairly simple.
What was in the box?
Just a photograph. Well, most of a photograph.
Mostly. There's Freya, and there's somebody I don't know. And there's bits missing. This is a cool painting.
It's really something.
Green. I actually have a real hard time telling the difference between green and blue sometimes.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
Photo of painting. Small photograph of Freya's abstract painting. A piece of adhesive tape is stuck on it. Lines have been drawn with black ink around the edges. So is this a piece of something else? That hair was yellow. What hair? What color is... Yeah, her hair's green. So it's not the same person. Not the same style of hair either. They do got a long neck. And they got a book with a star on it.
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
Let's.
Drawings taped up on the wall.
What's that one on the left?
Looks like two people standing together in a garden. One of them's holding a red rose.
Drawings. Drawing of a man standing with a woman in a garden. We've seen this person in Felix's description. Hawkshaw? Fifi? Drawing of a person wearing a cloak.
Painting supplies. Painting supplies.
No, that's a roller.
It's a fish, I think.
In this game, you need to talk about items, people as well.
I think it looks more like a whale.
Fine, it's a whale.
Could also be a shark.
Shark.
Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had a rough couple of days.
Or bear.
Brushes, pencils.
They're clean, but they look pretty well used.
It's Freya's bed. A little bit messy.
It's a perfectly healthy amount of messy.
When talking with suspects. Okay. I didn't see the option, but we'll check that out.
Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
Can I get a quick summary of what led up to this point? Well,
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
Freya is dead.
No windows either.
Actually, it's all right here. This person's dead. This person supposedly was in the room when it occurred. This person told us a story that doesn't make a ton of sense yet. Here's where we are. Freya got murdered. Also in this, the bloodstain isn't on the floor on this one for some reason. And yes, apparently the painting is the main murder suspect at the moment. Although we know that's ridiculous.
A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a cushion.
Patton?
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate. Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
There's no natural light in here at all.
I like it.
Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
Probably not.
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
No windows either.
There's this thing.
Do you think this was always
I don't know.
no windows either? That's weird.
What did you find in the drawers?
Nothing. They're completely empty.
Totally empty. Is it weird?
It's Freya's bed. A little
It's a
bit
perfectly healthy.
Alright, these are locked. We can't get to these yet.
It's an illustrated book about birds.
Birds.
And it's been left open. Looks like somebody was halfway through reading it.
Or it was left open for us to find.
Ever so slightly unnerving.
Oh, that's that bird that there was a figure made of. The ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan, even among avian mistids. I used to know what a mistid was, but that has leaked out of my brain, I think. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the ink dip lives most of its life alone. It has particular feeding habits, and usually only eats the seeds of the Tantum amica. Rose, thank you for the host. That is mighty kind of you. Excuse me. Tantum amica. This plant right here. And here's a baby. Oh. This feather looks like a knife with colorings on it. Is this what she was holding in the painting instead of an actual knife? Interesting. Oh, a new rose emote. Let's look at that. That's pretty cute. Oh, that's nice. Those are cute. And wasn't the... Yeah, one of the models, one of the little wooden figurines was of that bird. Got that in here. Yeah, this bird right here. And the painting... See, that's the same as that bird's feather. She's holding that bird's feather. And here's that plant that it eats.
Sure. Why not build a science lab in the corner of the library?
Seems reasonable to me.
The search for new knowledge. The archiving of old knowledge. It's downright poetic.
Books about ancient history, I think?
These books are ancient history. I think they'd crumble into dust if I tried to pick them up.
Good excuse.
Thanks. Books about geography.
Skip.
Oh, I like geography.
Books about insects.
Entomology.
Well, theoretically. There's not a single book on that shelf.
Huh.
They've all been checked out. Astronomy?
Books about space.
They're relatively untouched.
Birds?
Books about birds.
The shelves are about half empty.
Oh, so you're a the shelves are half empty kind of person.
You knew this already.
Arborist.
Books about nature?
Okay. I need...
Sure. Why not build a science lab in the corner of the library?
I thought I had Steam muted. Let's mute that for now.
The search for new knowledge. The archiving is downright poetic.
A book on the floor. Fundamental entomology.
Okay, that's why there's nothing in the shelves. The only actual entomology book is on the floor.
I guess somebody dropped it.
That's a friend of mine. He's getting into that Space Engineers game. We've been playing it.
Books about geography.
Skip. A chalkboard.
Is this a library or a classroom?
Let's give it a closer look. Let's shove them out of the way and take a look at it. Oh boy. No, it's a different game. The one Canoe and I played was Satisfactory. The one I've been playing with Brian and Lee is Space Engineers. Alright, this is going to be handy information at some point.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that.
It's taken a lot of getting used to, but once you get going, it's not bad.
It's musty in here.
What exactly does that mean? What is must?
Must. You ask such stupid questions.
Nice.
That's a hamster response. What's this about a 4-person game?
Curious. I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Nerd.
Excuse me.
Taking all the environmental factors into account, there must be something I am still missing.
May I talk to you, miss?
She knows we're here. She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk.
Correction. You do not need to talk to me,
Oh no? How come?
because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks for letting me know.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already reached a sturdy hypothesis.
A
Nope.
hypothesis about the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
My apologies. Unfortunately, protocol dictates I must at least meet all the suspects. And that includes you. So, could you tell me your name?
Fifi Fellow,
Fifi.
microbiologist, inventor, innovator.
Eyes on the side of her head. I know. This eye placement is a concern for me. But whatever. Oh, okay, so this is how we can ask them about people and clues up here. Okay. We're gonna have to do some backtracking.
You will need to be more specific. Oneself cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
Nope. Them's iPhones.
Well, first of all, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct. My father and mother are named Flora and Felix, but you need not question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Microbiologist, but it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
What made you want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed
What?
a microscope?
Correct.
And what's that thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that would be most amusing.
I don't like your eyeglasses.
What can you tell me about
Just
the murder?
FYI.
What can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes, however, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective too, Fifi?
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Oh.
So what did you do instead?
I locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh. Good.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it. I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face. She insisted that we go up to Flora's tower.
Oh, God.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs. When I saw Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly devastated. Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting. Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
You performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other?
Alright, I'm not going to do these with her yet.
Fifi's bedroom should be unlocked now.
Can't wait.
Later. We're going to go back all the way up here. Or do I wait until I've met everybody so I don't have to do so much backtracking? Why don't I just explore around a little bit first? Because if I go around and start talking to everybody about people and items, I'm going to be going back and forth 100 million times. Let's explore first. Build up a bank of stuff to talk to people about, and then we'll get tons of dialogue. Tons of dialogue dumps all at once.
Crystal chandeliers. Extra fancy.
I don't know. They just seem old-fashioned to me. Plus, they're kind of dusty.
Fifi's got something pinned up here.
What is all this?
Yeah. What is all this exactly?
That's you, Sally.
What? I do not look like that. Do I?
Kinda?
Is that supposed to be me? Why do I look so angry?
That's just the face you make when you're thinking. Does make you wonder, though. When did Fifi draw all this? Who is that?
No idea.
Who is that?
No idea.
Oh, want to hear that a lot, I imagine.
Who is that?
No idea. That's gotta be Flora. Who's that?
Not sure.
I think that's supposed to be Felix.
Who is that?
No idea.
Alright.
Did you notice who isn't on here?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself.
We'll be revisiting that, I'm sure.
It's a magnifying glass. A big one.
How come you don't have one of those?
Why? Because I'm a detective? Should I start smoking a pipe too?
You couldn't pull off a pipe. I don't know what that drink is, but I bet it's 99% sugar.
I'd read you the ingredients, but there's nothing written on the can.
That's even worse.
A new suspect!
A bear!
Don't think you can get out being questioned just because you're a bear.
I'm innocent, I promise.
Save it for the judge. That's a whole lot of books.
It does look a lot like the G Fuel thing. I mean, assuming that's the same color as what's in the can.
That's a whole lot of books. It looks like a microscope. A big one.
Can I touch it? I'm not sure this is a microscope.
Horizontally slide the 4 magnifying lenses to the correct position. Whoa, that's big. That's huge. Oh, I'm supposed to be making this design. I see. I see. Well, that looks right. It's interesting. What? No, that is much too big. Much too large. I don't think this is right because there's this big ring caught in there. But let's try this.
I got it.
Oh,
I'm
that
impressed.
is it.
Sounds like it unlocked.
Yeah, it's built on top of a little metal box.
I like this music, though I'm not entirely suits this type of game. I hadn't even really noticed.
There's a book in here.
A book? Secret diary. It's a secret. Well-used book resembling a diary. It's locked with a strange metal device.
What's that big book on the desk?
Looks like something Fifi's been writing.
Is it a clue?
I hope not.
Doesn't really give murder, mystery, or puzzle vibes. I can see that, I guess. I'm not really sure what kind of vibes I would say it is giving off.
It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology experiments. Homemade posters. This one's about the Pythagoras theorem.
Pythagoras theorem?
I've not heard of that band. Are they any good?
Oops. I heard of that band. Is that what he said?
What's that big book?
Looks
on
like
the desk?
something I hope not. It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology. Boxes of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Homemade posters. This one's about the Pythagoras theorem.
Pythagoras. That does seem like an odd way to pronounce that.
I've
But
not heard of that band. Are they any good?
whatever. I'm not gonna question her. She'll get snarky at me.
A pretty ornate window with a great view of the lake.
We're supposed to be looking for clues, not assessing the real estate value.
But it works for Rose. It's just how she's gonna pronounce it from now on. I'm going to almost immediately forget that that's how she's pronouncing it myself.
And over here, you'll see the owners use sheets of paper to block out all that unnecessary natural light. A simple trick, but it really transforms the space. A pretty...
Where's it?
A simple trick, but it... Scientific formulas, probably. I'll openly admit I have no idea what any of it means.
Neither do me. Neither do I, because I can't even see it. I guess that's it in here. Where to now? Let's go back outside. Are magnifying glasses supposed to ripple? That's a good question. Depends on what they're made of, I suppose.
It's a sea serpent, turned into stone by a wizard.
If you say so. What happened to its head?
Beheaded by the same wizard.
A Weezard.
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point, but someone scratched it off.
Here's the gazebo we saw from the other area. There's the entrance, the statue.
A giant glowing gemstone full of plants.
Pretty sure that's just a greenhouse.
AKA a greenhouse.
Gazebo bandstand is the same thing.
Looks like it might be about to fall apart. Grimoire, you go first.
Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
I'm guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
Rotate the dials until all 4 hands are in the correct position. That's a 6, that's a 12, that's a 9. Oh no. This is a 3. I'm gonna hate this. Alright, I guess that wasn't too bad.
No, that was it.
Nice work. What's in the box?
A little tool?
It's a
thing?
lot easier than I thought it was
Looks like
gonna
a
be.
telescope. But I'm not actually sure what it is.
Small brass tool with a curved glass lens. It has a screw at the base. Is it a scope?
You ever see a mushroom that big before?
It's a big shroom,
Not in real
alright.
life. More of that weird lake water.
Really makes me wonder how this structure is supported. Yeah, are we on an island or what?
Beats me. How long is that thing? A little bridge leading back to the gardens.
These plants are giving off a relaxing smell.
I didn't know we were supposed to be smelling things.
It's Tangle Tower.
Makes you want to play a Sherlock game? Is it that similar?
Or at least it's the mansion at the base of Tangle Tower. It's a big stone dais.
A dais.
Biggest one I've ever seen.
That's also what she said, I suppose.
First one, too.
Hamster started it.
A wooden trunk that opens up into a full desk.
I want one.
I do too. That sounds really cool. I like this whole concept right here.
Whoa. Nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick, Grimoire.
Private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Oh, nice. Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire.
It really
Maybe
is.
I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya Fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which
So
eludes
yes?
you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do.
We have competition. I hope she wins.
It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, that's the dude.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. 5.5 days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar?
You really think so? As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers was one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite. Towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled. That much was clear. But sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say.
I like Hawkshaw the best so far. And we know the gardener was in the top of the tower at some point because Fifi's statement showed him in there too. But Hawkshaw's really cool. I like the character. Canoe doesn't trust Hawkshaw. Of course he doesn't. A bug.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic powers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that fruit? It's shaped like fruit.
Too shiny to be fruit. I think it's glowing a little too.
Safe to eat, do you think?
I'm gonna say no.
Oh, there he is. He's just kind of working back there in the shadows. This guy's creepy. Red eyes, too.
Hanging baskets. They're so high up.
To you, maybe.
You're only 2 inches taller than me.
It scares Snow.
2 inches makes all the difference.
2 inches makes all the difference. 2 inches.
This one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
Potted fruit with a hard, gemstone-like skin. Soil in the pot is an unusual blue color. Snow could be surprised by a survivor walking right beside her. Not sure I understand that, but okay.
Tools. Used by a gardener. For gardening. A little chart of, actually, I have no idea what it's about.
Neither do I.
Kinda reminds me of a periodic table. Kinda reminds me of a periodic table.
Well, it's labeled 1 through 7. Huh.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
Hopefully we can remember that's there.
It's bigger in here than I thought it would be. It's glass, but I can't see through it.
Total oxymoron.
I am not.
Bags of soil.
It's so blue. It's bigger in here than I thought it would be.
Alright, let's talk to this Hulk back here.
Sally, don't move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right, sorry.
Sorry.
That's better.
He talks
I'm
too.
Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitzfellow, the gardener.
Mm-hmm. And why are you so tall?
I don't know.
Doesn't know. He has no idea. This guy is a buff vampire. Maybe. He's got the eyes for it.
You work here as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that
what?
again, but like condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA, sometimes.
Alteration?
Sometimes.
Like mutation.
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No, I'm just the gardener. I was in my greenhouse,
Being off
watering
cagey.
and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
Did anything happen?
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human. We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
Aha!
This
A
could
new
be
room.
interesting.
Let's go. Wow, this is like, there's like nothing in here.
Hello.
Not hidden very well, is it?
Doesn't need to be. It's locked. It's a combination lock. Sort of.
Rearrange the pieces of paper to find the combination of the box's padlock. Does this go here? That doesn't look like that goes there. That doesn't really look right either. Although... I'm guessing these things go together several different ways. But which one's the first one? So that's this symbol. Is this the right side of it then? So is this one? Huh. can't really tell what the order is supposed to be. I mean, I can see the symbols. Trying to see if there's some kind of pattern I'm missing. Okay, they don't. Okay. So it doesn't appear like. Well, oh, okay, I see. It doesn't appear like they appear on another dial. So this isn't supposed to tell us an order. This is just showing us which one to select. Right, because this doesn't appear on any of these. Okay. So this is going to give us unique shapes is what this is. So this one's going to be this one. This one's this one. This was right. This one's right. This one's right. Now we just need this one. Probably gonna be this one. Yeah, I think this is it.
There we go.
Perfect.
All right.
Anything in there?
Yeah, it's wrapped in a cloth. Hold on. Huh, that's kind of ominous.
Everything about this guy is ominous. A metal gardening trowel with a decorative pattern. It has a decorative pattern engraved onto it, and the letters on either side of a heart. PP, hearts, FF. One of the PPs hearts the FF.
An empty glass and an empty plate.
Not totally empty.
Looking at it is making me want to cry.
Why?
I don't know.
It's a little handmade card.
Yeah,
Someone's drawn a heart on the front.
that narrows it down a lot.
Inside it says, "To Fitz, from PP."
From PP. So we can probably assume the FF is Fitz. And the hamster says this means Canoe's PP.
That poor plant.
Looks pretty healthy to me.
Healthy, but sad. I think it would rather be outside.
It's locked, but it leads outside.
I thought we were halfway up a tower.
We are.
What's that thing by the handle?
Slide the lid open, then move the tiles into the correct slots.
Nothing. Still
The
locked.
tiles have all got that same sun symbol on them.
Those moon symbols in the slots. Are they connected?
Maybe they're connected, but also not connected.
Nope. It's not budging.
Maybe the information we need isn't here.
So where is it?
Somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with this one yet, I don't think. Or I'm not able to think of it.
Let's come back once we know what to do.
Alright, that's a pretty clear indication. Check Fitz's profile. Why does it say something about canoe in there? Fitzfellow. Oh, it's showing the connections. That's handy. Emily Everstone is his mother. Flint is his father. What are we looking for here? Hamster. Father Flintfellow. Okay. Evidence of canoe's love. Okay.
There's someone outside the window.
Something outside the window. It's probably just a rock.
You sure? Huh. Neither of these lights have an actual light bulb.
They're just decorative.
Oh, so decorative. Oh,
Fair
wow.
What?
It's a big empty space.
That it is. I mean, there's nothing in here.
Doesn't look soft.
Wow. Well, that was a quick examination. Music room. I forget her name. Poppy, is it?
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Now this music fits this room.
Sheet music. It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably while they're on the floor. Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
Really? It reminds you of Monkey Island?
What's with all the broken glass?
Shiny statue of a strange creature holding a large horn. There's a noticeable crack, just like everything else. Inside is ground, and on the ground below, various shards of cracked glass. Alright, the clicking things part is very reminiscent of Monkey Island. Just stay in this room for the rest of the stream. It's a neat room. I like this one.
That's just daylight, right?
What else would it be?
One old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry
Try
old books.
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
No. I mean, yes, I guess. Except just open flames right next to all those books, I guess. Is that what he's getting at? Hey, speaking of streams, did you not find your Kingdom Hearts 3 CD?
Smells like a forest in here.
Oh.
There's a faded mural on the wall.
When I was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
Ouch. No stream for snow tonight.
You still don't know, do you?
No.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty. So I'm guessing nobody.
Nobody.
It's one of those big pianos with the open lids.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
She thinks everything's haunted or cursed or whatever. I'm down with it. Oh gosh.
Are you a
That's
ghost?
changing.
Sally! That's rude!
It's changing atmosphere.
Well, she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I
Poppy
know.
the pointer pianist.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice. I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... Things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer.
Broody.
3.5 hours of piano practice. Soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that.
Not 3.5 hours per day, so more or less.
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
I think Fifi did it.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
Well, let's go. Wow, this is really dark. Oh, sorry, I can't stay in there forever. Fitz kicked the door too hard, so she fell down and died. Case closed. Game over. Good job, Skull. Can't unsee the tennis balls attached to helmet thing now. What?
There's a name for this kind of piano. You know, these ones that stand upright.
An upright piano? Maybe?
Just a bunch of clothes on the floor.
Oh, it reminds me, I need to do laundry tonight.
Nothing weird about that.
To you. It's a metronome for keeping time.
It's ticking. Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking. Not sure what those symbols are, though.
Use the buttons to rotate all 4 metronome dials up to the hoop at the top. Okay. So this one's gonna move this one and that one. Okay. Alright, I see. I see. There we go. That's what it wants, right?
That's done it.
Neat.
Neat.
What happened?
Little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Thank God. Sorry, Snow.
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph.
Ooh, is it?
Part of a photograph.
Is it the other half of our photograph? It is. Girl in the photo is using a bright pink cassette player with matching. So this... Wow, this is like them, like, 5 years ago when they were just teenagers or something. Probably.
There's something about that pink cassette tape.
Yeah, it's piano music.
Something suspicious.
Suspicious.
Let's ask Poppy about it.
Later.
It's an octopus.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8.
It's a sextopus.
Don't say it.
Sextopus.
A single red rose. How very traditional.
Yeah, weird.
Oh, thank goodness, there are 7 lit candles. Wouldn't want it to be dark in here.
Am I Sally? I definitely kind of identify with Sally.
Oh, thank goodness. There are 7 wanted to be dark? That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back.
Do I have tennis balls attached to my head? I still don't know where y'all are getting the tennis balls thing. Oh, Sally's... I get it now. Sally's hair. It's like tennis balls attached to... I got it.
Sheet music.
Took me a
presumably
while.
for piano.
It's only a few notes. I'd barely even call that music.
Yeah, it's been framed, though. Must be important for some reason.
Yep, you know me. Sharp as a tack.
More handwritten sheet music. More handwritten sheet music.
So here's another lock.
A big glass door leads out into a garden. Somehow.
There's a little mechanism by the handle.
Right. So this is like this. On the other side. That's cute. They have a shared lock. Okay, yeah, I did not see that until Hamster pointed it out.
Something happened.
That must be it. And the door's still locked.
I
'cause
still
the-
feel like we made some sort of progress.
Because the other one's still locked.
It's locked. Did it
I
lead-
thought we were halfway up a tower.
We are.
What's that thing by the handle?
It made a noise.
I guess that was right.
There we go.
Finally, it's open.
Whatever's on the other side better be worth it.
Let's go. It's just a shortcut. Rooftop God.
It's another little statue, doing a really bad job of hiding in the bushes.
He's playing a lute this time.
He's also wearing headphones.
Well, they're not part of the statue. And they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
They sure look like headphones. Those are headphones.
That's one big dragonfly.
Or one very small dragon.
Tiny dragon.
A little pond.
It looks really, really deep for some reason. See those metal bars around the edges too?
Oh yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
It's a rose bush, growing on a little patch of bluish soil. Apart from a couple of loose petals on one side, the whole thing looks very...
The roses are bright red too.
Now, aren't roses normally that color?
Exactly.
What? Now, what do you figure Fitz and Poppy get up to in here? What do you think?
A little water feature.
It's making me sleepy.
Wonder how it's hooked up.
Giant stone frog? Love it.
He's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
Feathers were mostly found resting on the tongue of the large stone frog.
More egg statues.
I don't get it. Why eggs?
Well, either they have some special significance, or the sculptor was just really lazy.
What do you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest shape to make.
Is it though? You'd think like a cube would be the easiest shape to make.
Stone pillars. Or what's left of them.
More egg statues.
I don't get it.
Well, I have a sculpt. An egg has got to be the easy. It's so relaxing. I might just stay here.
Oh, shall I go finish the investigation on my own?
That'd be great.
First off, these are awful big to be tennis balls. They're more like honeydew melons.
It's a 2-person bench.
Now, what makes it a 2-person bench specifically? It looks pretty standard to me.
I don't think Grimoire gets it.
Stairs up to Fitz's room.
Why, though? So there are 2 doors into the garden, right? One from the fellow side and one from the pointer side. But they weren't built at the same level. Just seems kinda sloppy. More egg statues.
I don't get it.
Well, either they have a sculpt. An egg has got to be the easy.
Oh, good. A bridge. I'm glad to know there's a way to get across that tiny, tiny pond.
Not all bridges are about getting across stuff.
The door into Poppy's room.
So only Poppy and Fitz can get into the garden?
I guess so.
Huh.
Trees. On a roof.
In a garden.
In a garden. On a roof.
It's so relaxing. I might just stay here.
Oh, shall I go?
That'd be great.
Fitz is getting into Poppy's garden. Exactly. So this is Penelope?
Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
No, I agree. That does look evil.
They're bird cages. But the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is. I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
That's kind of funny.
What's with those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh. I feel like I'm standing in a giant birdcage.
I think you are.
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
3 brightly colored birds in a heavy ornate cage.
Does this count as being outdoors?
Yeah. No. Doesn't matter.
A rather magnificent bush. Somewhat cruelly confined to a stone pot.
There's a letter P carved into the side.
A rather magnificent bush.
There's a letter P carved.
A rather magnificent bush.
There's a letter P carved into the side.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
I don't like her.
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer. Pleasure.
Oh,
Is that short
Penny.
for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but
okay.
I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Uh-oh.
Fitzfellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our 2 families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
That's interesting. Howdy, just another artist. How are you doing this evening? Welcome. I'm liking this game a lot too so far.
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there, crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That, and he has a great deal of work to do every day, watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Goodness, no.
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course, and they often do. But I think they just like the company.
Is that a hat or is that another bird?
As do I.
I think that's the 4th bird she's talking about.
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the Fellow Tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
You know, so far everybody's story kind of jives except Felix's. Unless I'm just misremembering it. Because Felix just said he heard some people shuffling around and they went out there and then... I don't really remember. But... seems kind of fishy.
We can get into Penny's room now.
Now, like, right now?
Yeah. Right now.
It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds?
They're false ones.
They're wooden.
Just one person
They're
left.
using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
Swap the positions of the 7 birds. Hmm. Welcome back. How in the world is this supposed to go? Am I supposed to go by? Also, where do we start? Huh, I'm not getting this one for some reason.
I'll do this later.
Yeah, is recluse sitting around in here somewhere to this?
That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
Oh, it's yeah, it's like a family tree type of thing. Oh, have you not actually played the game? Yeah, I think every puzzle seems to be pretty self-contained. I don't think there's clues hidden anywhere. But I'm gonna take a look around, then we'll go back to it. We'll get it in a minute. It's that blue dirt that we've seen everywhere.
Looks like nature invited itself in. Rude.
Nature is rude like that.
Ever
Nature's
get the feeling you're
dangerous.
being watched?
Nature's been known to kill people.
The mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting sentence. Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them.
That's right. We'll get that, Nature.
A little tea set. Looks recently used.
Show it to his boss.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed.
Mm-hmm.
A little bedtime reading?
Let's see. Romance novels, detective novels, and
What?
this one appears to be both.
Nice.
That bed. It's like something from a fairy tale.
Does it feel warm over here, or is it just me?
No, you're right. Maybe the bed has some kind of heater.
It's not coming from the bed. It's coming from the wall.
Interesting.
That bed. It's like
Does it feel
no.
it's not coming from the bed?
Looks like a crack in the wall over there.
This is the
Too fancy.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You know, the birds can easily get in and out of those cages.
Oh, if that's true, can they even be considered cages?
Doesn't seem like it.
Anything in there?
Bed sheets.
That's not even remotely suspicious. This is the fanciest room, so...
Too fancy.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Alright, let's take another look at this.
It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds?
So, let's see. These two combine into this one. These two combine into this one. And these two combine into this one? That seems odd. So is it a color thing? I don't think so. Color probably has something to play into it. Yeah, I don't think the family tree has any clues. I think we just need to look at this. None of the puzzles seem to take up clues. Well, can't say that for sure. Colors seem more likely. I think color has something to do with it. Also, the beaks, maybe? And the eye positioning? Let's see. Well, yellow and blue is green. Where does red come in? Red and green is brown. Okay. Is this right?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay.
Nice work.
Shh. Okay.
Did the door open?
It's
What's in there?
just colors, I guess. I was getting sidetracked by the eyes and the beaks. Uh-oh. Now I'll get her. A ripped piece of paper crumpled into a ball. Red flower petals were found inside. A message is angrily scrawled onto the paper. Now I'll get her. Somebody's mad. Somebody's got anger issues. Oh, is that the love letter you sent to Fitz? This guy's twerking over here.
It's too cloudy to see any stars right now.
Also, the sun's out?
It's also daytime.
Okay, there we go again. I'm channeling Sally all day.
There's something kinda disappointing about this room. I just expected a bit more from an astronomy tower.
Oh, does it not compare to all the other astronomy towers you've been to?
You know, I've always wanted one of those.
Just another artist. Thank you for the follow. That is mighty kind of you.
A mechanical solar system? What would you do with it?
It's just a model.
I would look at it.
Let's.
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle, sun on the outside. How old is this thing?
Rotate the 5 planets, the sun, and the moon around the middle. Oh. Trying to match up some patterns here? Is that what's going on? Oh, okay, we can move this stuff too. I see. Almost got it. There we go.
I got it.
I'm impressed. Did you hear that? Something on
There's a little hatch underneath? What's in there?
Ooh, I just had the biggest sneeze. I hope I hit that mute button fast enough. Whew.
a bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
I didn't? Oh well. Sorry. Ugh. Okay. Well, if that's true, I apologize. Golden beetle, named for its exoskeleton, composed of a mineral approximately 90% identical to gold. That doesn't make any sense. It has a lifespan of several years. Oh, okay, I see. The actual beetle. Fends off predators with a loud hiss. And completely undigestible, this mistid has a somewhat spurious reputation for causing ill fortune to those that see it.
The bell jar. It's empty.
Well, I'm sure you understand.
What do people normally keep in bell jars?
Other than bells, you mean?
I don't think I've ever seen a bell in a bell jar. That would be an odd thing to keep in a bell jar.
It's tidier than my desk. Oh, the notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So? Even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
It's the truth.
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you from, Sally?
That's good. Poor Sally.
A picture frame.
With no picture.
Oh, he's got a notebook with no notes. Why not a picture frame with no picture?
It's tidier than my desk. Oh, the notebook is untouched. It's completely...
So, even the most well-used notebook stuff.
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you?
That's not a chart of the solar system.
Pretty.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
Of course.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
Let's at least introduce ourselves before touching his telescope.
Always a good roll.
Interesting.
What is it?
It's clearly some kind of...
Well, I know the basics of the solar system. I'll put it that way. And this chart, I don't recognize that.
large device.
You're not wrong.
Shh, listen. Do you hear them?
No.
The stars. They're whispering. So quiet, and yet so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could the speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Good. I'd hate that there were two
Seems
of them.
like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
In our minds and in the locks on the doors.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the Cosmos I say hi.
Hi, Cosmos. How you doing, Cosmos? Pointer has nice roof hair. I was just looking at that myself. I was like, is that his hair? Or has he broken a piece of plywood and draped it over his head?
The day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening. I was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever, then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
That he told her to get out of the way.
I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping. So I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
Question mark?
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all. That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
They're all a
Fitz
bunch of
and I were up
liars.
in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. It lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the
I like
stairs.
how it's piecing all this
I
together.
vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do. So I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me.
I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
Yeah, that all fit together really well. I'm sure we can find some inconsistencies when we start to talk to people about other people and about the items. But that's gonna have to wait because we are at the end of our time for today. This is gonna take a while, but I like this one a lot more than the first one. Detective Grimoire was good. It was fun. Well, it did not have the level of polish this has. And there's more to it than just wandering around telling everybody about everything. This was a lot better. I mean, I'm glad I played it, but yeah, it makes this one seem better. All right, everybody. I'm going to call it a night here. Next time, we'll get started talking to everybody about clues and whatnots. When are we? That comes Thursday. Yeah? If Thursday's good for you. Thursday's really the only, for, we were here together. It's the only day this week I have for it. But 6 p.m. then we'll be doing We Were Here Together again with Canoe. Tomorrow's some good old Splatoon. This Saturday will be no stream. I have my board game group meeting that day, so we'll be doing that. And Sunday we'll be back to the regular stuff. Oh no, hamster. I am. I have actual local people I hang out with from time to time. But anyway, thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. I'm having a good time. Hope y'all are too. I think I'm just gonna let AutoHost send y'all somewhere if y'all feel like sticking around long enough for that to pop up. So y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.